Hello, YouTube, and welcome to yet another new trading week. Happy to see you back. Happy to see all of you, and although I can see you, but happy to be back here. And it's yet another Monday where we meet, we break down the markets, we do a weekly pre-market analysis, and then we wait for opportunities to come to us. We don't go for them, right? Now, I want to first of all appreciate everybody who has taken a chance to make sure that they are inside our Discord community and keep on applying. Once you request, for example, there is this guy here. Once you request to be in our Discord, this is what you just have to do. You just request and I'm going to approve you. So the only requirement that we need you to have is make sure that you have an account with XM, and that's a live trading account. And then you're going to be inside our Discord server. So this is our server right here, and you can see it's one of the most organized servers. These are the things that we trade inside the server, and looking forward to see many of you inside the server. All right, so if you need to be added to the Discord community, please just text me on the number that is going to be on the description, and I'm going to be adding you in a few. Now, getting into what we had last week, because this market analysis goes into two sections. The first section is to look at what happened last week, and then the second session is to look at what we are going to be looking at this week. All right, a recap of last week really important, because it gives you an overview of what you've been doing, and you can be able to gauge and judge yourself from how you traded last week. All right, so we go to where the week started, and I'm going to be using this other server here. So from last week on Monday, this is what we had when the week started. We had a lot of course, fundamentals coming over and everything, but this is what we had. We are looking at a bearish dollar for the week. We are looking to see prices come down all the way to that week low and take it out. Then this is what we are looking at on Eurusd, and this is our USD. NZUSD, basically all USD pairs. We are looking to be buying them, and that means that we are looking at towards a weak dollar. Now, Monday, of course, Mondays are one of those days where you don't really go ahead to trade a lot. Just be very much conservative, save your capital, because the best opportunities don't actually come on Mondays. All right, talking out of my own experiences, the best experiences will not always come on Mondays. Therefore, Monday we didn't trade, and this is what we had now on Tuesday. We had this is what we are anticipating on the dollar index, sells from this zone here. And as always, guys, one of the best confirmations that you can always use is the rejections. Once you see a rejection, then that should tell you that prices are most likely going to go to the opposite direction, because rejections basically they signal reversals. So I saw this couple of rejections here, and I was looking to short the dollar, and I had this trade idea on Eurusd, which I actually executed the buys on Eurusd. I also had buys on NZUSD. That was it, and actually we traded this live. All right, so make sure that you also follow me on TikTok. My username on TikTok is NickTrades KE. Therefore, if you follow me on TikTok, you'll be getting this analysis there from our TikTok account. Live trading happens inside TikTok. All right, so we did take a live trade here during London session, and you're looking towards the buys on NZUSD and the buys on Eurusd, and eventually we lost these trades. I guess we have a section here for our lost trades. Therefore, those two trades, we ended up losing the trades. But you see, what happened? First of all, you had a lot of consolidations. Let me go back to it. We had a lot of consolidations during that time. It was around Messiah London session. We had a lot of consolidations during that time. Of course, we also anticipating CPI the next day, that was on Wednesday. Therefore, these consolidations were expected. All right. So from this year, that's now on Tuesday, we lost the trade on EU. Okay, we lost both trades. This was the trades here, we lost them, and then after there, I didn't trade. That is on Wednesday, because Wednesday we had CPI. And what I did, whenever I'm having these high impact news like CPI, NFP, all those news, I basically look to trade them on a side account. Therefore, I did not trade those on my main account. Now, on the same trades that I took on Tuesday, I ended up losing about 1%. And I was on 0.5% risk on both trades, and I ended up losing 1%. Also in my funded account, that is with Alpha Capital. And so far, I'm in a drawdown, by the way. I'm in around 2 point something percent drawdown, which means that the last trade I've been taking, I have lost. Okay, but you're going to be reviewing those trades and you see why we lost and how we can come out of that drawdown. And by the way, if you're looking to purchase a Proform account, you can purchase one from Alpha Capital and use my code NICTRADESKE. NICTRADESKE. You're going to be getting a 30% off on your first purchase, and you're going to be getting a 5% off on your following purchases. So, right. Now, going back here to Eurusd. So Wednesday CPI, that means that on Wednesday it was not supposed to be a really nice trading day, and therefore we resumed trading Eurusd on Thursday. This was what I had on Thursday. This is during a New York session. I was looking towards these buys right here, and this was my entry right here. I got inside the trade, but again, I was not just lucky that last week. And why was I not lucky? Because once I executed my trade, what happened is, look at this. Prices came to my point of entry. They went higher. This was during New York session. Then came lower again. Okay. And from these, normally what I do, I have a rule for myself, especially in trading Gbpusd and Eurusd. I have a rule that dictates that if I take a trade during New York session, and by any chance this trade has not moved by 8 p.m. East African time, I'm going to be collapsing my trade until the next day. All right. Now that's what I did. Prices came back, as you can see. Prices came back right here, and so by that time it was around 8-9. So I closed and collapsed my trades manually, hoping that I would get another entry maybe the next day now on a Friday. Now, look at what happened. On Friday, when I was waking up in the morning, this is what I saw. Prices, yes, eventually they bought, especially during nation session. So what I just had to do is to wait for a retracement to a point of interest, and then I would go ahead to take my buys. Now, this is on Friday, all right? Do you see what happened on Friday? What happened on Friday? What happened on Friday? Eventually, I guess I did update right here. What happened on Friday is eventually prices went higher. For example, this is another guy's chart. We have the same entry, but at a level. So on Friday, prices just went higher without retracing back. Therefore, that meant that at the end of the day, I did not make any money because I did not get another entry during that session for either London or New York session. All right. But now see, most of the students, for example, this guy had the trade and eventually they ended up making some money. You can see the setup. This was the same setup that I had. You guys remember? Took my buys here. So prices eventually went all the way. People made some money, and I personally did not make any money. Now, again, last week, remember on Tuesday lost 1%, and then on Thursday I closed with around 0.2 or 0.3% loss because I saw prices are retracing back, and there was no need for me to continue holding those trades overnight. That was how my week was. I did trade on Tuesday, did trade on Wednesday, on Wednesday CPI, and I did trade on Thursday, which I ended up losing. Now, the right thing is we had the right buyers, we had the right analysis at the end of the day. All right. So let's get into trading view, and you guys can see. Okay, so these are the setups that we had for last week. We had the NZUSD and all these setups. I shared all of these setups into a Discord server. If I take you back here to Discord, you're going to see, for example, this setup here on NZUSD. I shared it right here inside. I guess I shared it alongside the USD. Let me confirm. Yes, this was it. So you can see I shared this setup before it actually started. Okay, I did the same mistake here, not a mistake, but I just followed my rules, because I did also collapse this trade by around here Masaya 8 p.m. and I was looking to get an entry the next day, which I did not get. All right, so that was it. Set NZUSD, it was a winning setup. We had also GBPUSD. It was a winning setup. This was a setup on Gbpusd. It was given right here, and eventually prices went higher, and actually we hit the TP, as you can see even from other people's updates right here. We also had AUDUSD. AUDUSD, let me see where the setup for AUDUSD was. Yes, this was it. We didn't trade AUDUSD last week, but we had EURUSD, GBPUSD, and NZUSD, which ended up to be winning trades. All right, ended up to be winning trades. Therefore, guys, unfortunately, we didn't manage to get to profit from all those trades, but you know, it's sometimes that's how trading is going to be. All right, so that was then the USD. Our USD prices, you can see, went all the way, and this was our prediction for last week. GBPUSD prices went all the way. We had our entries right here, and then taken out, then prices went to our TPs. And also we had EURUSD. This was the setup on EURUSD for last week. So it's really important to be doing such a review, guys. At the end of the day, do a review of whatever that you did last week. Okay, so that you can know, was it a bad week because you made mistakes, or was it a bad week because you followed your rules and everything? Okay, and consistency, guys, consistency. So now we are right here into another trading week. Before we continue, guys, just let me remind you, if you want to be getting this analysis live, I share this analysis here for free inside our Discord sub. We have a very big community on WhatsApp, but WhatsApp, guys, WhatsApp is just a channel for communication. It's not a channel for trading. Okay, it's just a channel for communication. Therefore, if you need to be in a community of traders, then make sure that you download Discord application. Once you download Discord application, then text me either on the number that is on the description of this video, and you're going to be getting an entry into our Discord community. All right, just pause the video for a minute and join Discord. Okay, now, have you joined Discord? Have you texted me on WhatsApp? My number is on the description. Please do that. Done. Okay, now let me delete all the drawings that we had for last week, and we can now come up with new drawings for this week. Remove all the drawings, and let's now see what are we looking forward to this week. DXY is always going to be our first one, and because it's a new week, we always start from weekly time frame. So DXY weekly time frame, what do you guys see? What do you guys see? The last time prices came traded right above here on these highs, and prices left some equal highs. You guys see that? We had some equal highs, which basically this is buy side liquidity, and then from there prices are coming down to which zones? We are coming down to from these highs to these lows. We are coming down to an area of discount, and as always, guys, I tell you, if you're looking to buy at an area of discount. Now, if you don't know how to use this discounted premium, please check the previous video. There is a video I did like maybe a week or 2 weeks ago on how to identify order blocks. Go check out that video so that you can know how to use this flip tool. Now, what we are saying is we want to buy at a zone of a discount, and discounted prices are prices between 61 and 78% of our fib level. All right, 61 and 78%. Now, if you look keenly here, prices are already trading at 61%. Okay, this is a 61%. Prices are already trading at that zone, and as you can see, this zone seems not to be holding. We have two rejections signaling buys, but if you look at even this week's candle, the way it has opened, completely bearish. So we could be heading to this level of 78%. All right, we could be heading to this level of 78%. Therefore, as we start the week, DXY weekly time frame, I'm looking towards a bearish price action. Let's go to the daily time frame. So DXY daily time frame, I want you guys to see something. I want you guys to see something. Open your eyes and see this. We have a couple of lows. Now, for example, do you see this? Do you see again this? Do you see this? And do you see this? Do you see that? What's that? What's that? What do you see there? Make sure that you are inside our Discord. You see all this, whatever I'm teaching you guys here, this is what we share inside our Discord server every single day. Now, look here. We have what we can refer to as a trend line. All right? We have a trend line right here. We have a trend line. And this trend line has a couple of touches, like 4 touches of this trend line. Now, let me give you guys a trick. When you see this kind of a trend line, take this as what we refer to as trend line liquidity. Let me remove this. Take this as what we refer to as trend line liquidity. And if there is something I want you guys to note on your books or inside your heads, is trend line liquidity. When prices start to take out trend line liquidity, it is always going to be taken out to the origin. So the origin is where it all started. All right? Trend line liquidity will always be taken out to the origin. That is why it all started. So expect to see prices come down all the way to this low, or at least now for this week. One thing about DXY is you're always going to get at least 2% move or 1.5% move in a week. Therefore, if you can measure, for example, here, if we can anticipate a 2% move this week on the dollar, then that means we will be trading down here. That's a 2%. That's a move that can happen within a week. Or you can get a 1.5% move, therefore at least trade down into these levels down here. Are we together, guys? Now you can go down to the 4 hours time frame. This week's analysis is super easy. It's just following the trend, just follow the trend. You are bearish, keep selling. Okay, stop looking for reversals and just follow the trend. So on the 4-hour time frame, as we speak currently, now we can see there is a break of structure, although this candle has not closed, but most likely this candle is going to be closing below here, and that means that you're going to have a structure break to the downside. Therefore, where do you look to sell from this week? As always, if you're looking to sell, you want to sell at a higher price. Therefore, selling at the current price is maybe too low. Therefore, I would love to sell at a higher price. And that's where now our fib comes in. So you map your swing highs as a high, and you map your lows. This is our current low. And then you take your fib tool. From the highs to the lows, you look for an area between 61 and 78%, and that should be your point of interest. So between 61 and 78%, what do we have? We have this area right here, which could be a really nice area for us to be looking to short the dollar. All right, a really nice area for us to be looking to short the dollar. Now, so what are we anticipating here? We are anticipating a retracement. Am I so much interested in trading the retracement? Not really. I'll be so much interested in getting the sales from here and then go down to the next point that we have pointed out on the higher time frames. So let's check. It was on the daily time frame where you have spotted the weekly targets. So our weekly targets is to see prices come down all the way here. All right, those are our weekly targets. Therefore, you would expect this move right here. Okay, a retracement into this area or the most recent order block, the 4 hours chart, as you can see. And also it is going to be at an area of a premium, and then from there now you can go down to the next areas. Now Eurusd. Now guys, once you have done analysis on DXY, Eurusd is now, Eurusd, Gbpusd, all those USD pairs, nikupitia tu sasa, because already you know what you are anticipating. So if you are expecting DXY to sell, but you are anticipating a retracement before the sell, that means also you are anticipating a retracement before the buy on Eurusd, Gbpusd, NZD, USD, AUD USD. So EURUSD, we start with EURUSD. Now that we have done analysis on the dollar, we don't have now to go down to whatever happened in the weekly time frame or no, we don't have to do that. So we now just here come and map our most recent structures. Our most recent structure. Our most recent structure is here. This is it. Okay. And we are looking now towards, you see here we have 61 and 78% right here. Between 61 and 78%, that's where our order block should be. And therefore, on EURUSD, whatever we are anticipating is a retracement, bringing us to this level, and then now we can go higher. Now, looking at the targets, where we're looking to be targeting, this is EURUSD daily time frame. For the week, I said you have a lot of trend and liquidity all the way from here. If you check, coming up all the way, I don't want to force this trend line, at least, but at least it has a couple of touches. So eventually, we would love to see prices come high to these highs right here. But this is a very big move. To expect USD to give you this move within a week, that's very ridiculous. Not but possible here. Okay, if you have quite a moving market. So USD, that's our expectations, to see a retracement come into these levels, and then we can keep on buying. Gbpusd, again, just like EURUSD, you come up with your points of interest through the fib. So from the lows to these highs here, we can expect to see a retracement into these levels of 61 to 78% right there, and then you can be looking to buy. And where are the targets? On Gbpusd, we could be looking to target these highs. You could be looking to target those highs on Gbpusd. All right, so more and more buys. Now, I'm not putting this analysis into too much detail because I'm going to be sending this analysis inside our Discord server once I'm done with this. All right, so expect this analysis inside our Discord. Now, AUDUSD, what do we see on AUDUSD? We map out the last structure break. It was right here, last structure break. And then we can map out these lows here to these highs. And then you can be looking for retracement to the 61 to 78% level, which is right here. And then you can be looking to buy. Where are we going to be targeting long term? We can be targeting these highs here on AUDUSD. All right. We can be targeting these highs there on AUDUSD. Then lastly, we have NZUSD on our watch list. Last week, prices traded from this zone. A very, very sharp rejection came, and right now we are into more and more buys. Where are we going to be targeting this week? First of all, look for a target, which is these highs on the daily time frame, and then now we can be looking for entry points. That is now using our fib level. We place our fib from the lows to the highs. This is why we had the last structure break, essentially to mark it out because of people who are still learning inside this channel. So that's the last structure break, and then you can now be expecting the retracement of the 61 78% of our fib level, which is right here, and you can be expecting such a move, a retracement to this level. Then we continue buying. Now that's what you are anticipating this week, guys. I am going to be sharing all this analysis right now inside our Discord server. Therefore, guys, this is my last call. If you are really serious about your trading as a career, one thing that you need to align yourself with is the right community. Okay, align yourself with the right community, and the right community is what is going to bring you results. Okay, avoid a lot of noise. One advice I'll give you before this week starts is, if you are into those mini Telegram groups, those WhatsApp groups, they're not helping you. Okay, leave all those groups and join our Discord, because Discord is very much organized, as you guys can see. But when it comes to WhatsApp, you have a lot of guys who don't even know what they are doing. All right, stop taking those random signals from strangers. Stop taking random, advice from those mentors out there who they really don't care about you. What they care is your money and everything. All right, so please make sure that you align yourself with the right community. And if you have watched this video up to the end, okay, if you have watched this video up to the end and you are in Nairobi, I welcome you for our next coffee and trades event. I'm organizing one. It's going to be at Karen. Okay, if you want to be in, please text me and tell me I have watched this video up to the end and I would love to come to your coffee and trades event. So coffee and trade is an event where you meet, have coffee, and we trade together, okay, for a whole day, and that's free of charge, and I'm not charging you guys anything. So only for people who have watched this video up to the end, that's your reward. So let's meet again in the next one, and cheers guys. I wish everybody a very successful trading week.